From his insane bulking diet that allowed him to pack on 40 pounds of muscle, to his stunning weight loss transformation in just one short month, this is Bryson DeChambeau's Brutal Diet Revealed. While the game of golf definitely does require a healthy physique, golfers don't tend to be known for their rippling muscles and huge stature. In a game where technique is prioritized over all else, it's rare to meet a player who looks more like they belong on a football field than a golf course. But if you happen to run into Bryson DeChambeau on the street, we'd forgive you for thinking that he was an NFL lineman rather than a professional golfer. Bryson is notorious for his ingenuity, searching for new and creative ways to improve his performance on the green. So much so that the 29-year-old has been nicknamed the Scientist. With a nickname like that, you've got to have done some wacky, out-of-the-box things to improve your game. In all fairness, DeChambeau did major in physics in college. Bryson's love for golf began when he was quite young. At the age of 16, he won the California State Junior Championship, and that proved to the young man that if he had any doubts, he just might have a future in the sport of golf. In June of 2015, he became the first SMU Mustang to win the NCAA Individual Championship, recording a score of 280 to win by one stroke. In August of the same year, he won the U.S. Amateur title, defeating Derek Bard 7-6 in the 36-hole final. That makes him the fifth player in golfing history to win both the NCAA and U.S. Amateur title in the same year, behind the likes of Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. Bryson made his PGA Tour debut in June of 2015 as an amateur, finishing in 45th place, and a year later, he turned professional. Since then, he's won 8 times on the PGA Tour, including one major championship, the 2020 U.S. Open. This victory, combined with his NCAA win and his U.S. Amateur title, make him the third player in history to have won all 3 after Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. Is it just me, or does this guy's name keep coming up in the same bracket as some of the greatest of all time? Make of that what you will. Anyway, Bryson's also the 6th player in history to have won the U.S. Amateur and U.S. Open. Not bad for just 29 years old. But DeChambeau isn't just renowned for his golfing accolades. There's something else that sets him apart from other golfers. As I've mentioned before, DeChambeau's earned himself the nickname the Scientist, and that's definitely no accident. Bryson is renowned for his analytical and scientific approach to the sport of golf, which has led him to take some creative measures to improve his performance. For instance, his clubs are specifically designed to his specifications, with grips that are thicker than normal, and irons that are all the same length. In 2020, the same year he won the U.S. Open, Bryson became the longest driver on the PGA Tour. And this is where his brutal diet comes in. During the first weekend of July 2020, a noticeably bulkier DeChambeau managed to erase a 3-stroke deficit to Matthew Wolff in the final round of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, taking the tournament by 3 strokes of his own. It was an impressive performance, and his new physique had everything to do with it. Bryson has always been notorious for his calculated approach to golf, taking so much time and consideration to line up shots that his opponents have sometimes lost their patience. But during the quarantine of 2020, it seems that he turned his lifelong science experiment onto his own body, packing on as many pounds as possible in an attempt to become the hardest hitter in golf. And let's just say, it paid off. But don't get me wrong, DeChambeau was taking a huge gamble messing with his body like that. In a sport that prioritizes precision over all else, altering your physique so drastically like he did could have had dire consequences. But instead, it helped him win the Open. So what was Bryson's secret diet that helped him pack on so many pounds of muscle, becoming the hardest hitter on the course? Well, strap in, because the list of meals is long, long, long. DeChambeau would start the day with a relatively classic breakfast. If you want to feed 3 people, he'd have 4 eggs along with slices of toast, 5 strips of bacon, and he'd wash the whole thing down with 2 whole protein shakes. Throughout the day, he'd make sure to snack on protein bars, and for lunch, he'd chow down on a couple of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. While on the course, he made sure to throw back at least 2 more protein shakes, and for dinner, he'd have a healthy portion of steak and chips, followed by another 2 protein shakes. That's like 6 protein shakes a day. This brutal diet was, as you can imagine, extremely high in protein and ended up being upwards of 6,000 calories a day. I mean, if that won't make you put on weight, nothing will. This insane diet allowed the California native to pack on 40 pounds, and we definitely saw the difference it made to his performance on the course. DeChambeau was hitting drives of over 350 yards with relative ease, and his club speed, ball speed, and strokes gained from tee to green were essentially unmatched that season. It was like he was playing a whole different course to his fellow peers. In the space of a year, Bryson's new bulk had allowed him to add a whopping 20.5 yards per drive. I guess drinking 6 protein shakes a day really does pay off. Now, while DeChambeau may have seen some great benefits to his performance on the golf course, it turns out that in his personal life, he wasn't a huge fan of his new, bulkier frame or his intense diet. In 2022, DeChambeau appeared on the 5 Clubs podcast, hosted by Emma Carpenter, where they discussed his experience bulking up for the 2020 season. Bryson confessed that while gaining weight was great for his clubhead speed and on-course performance, the lifestyle was less than ideal for him mentally and even physically. He said, "I ate things that weren't great for my system, things that I was very sensitive to." He went on to explain how his brutal high-protein, high-calorie diet had begun to give him gut issues and even mood swings. In DeChambeau's own words, it all got a little too much. During the interview, he mentioned how he'd recently taken on a different nutritional approach, adopting something he called the Whole30 diet. He explained that it's essentially a 30-day diet where participants eliminate alcohol, sugars, grains, dairy, and other foods, replacing them with more whole foods like vegetables, fruit, and grass-fed proteins. I don't know about you, but that sounds almost as brutal as his last diet. No sweets? No, thank you. Now, while the diet isn't so much for weight loss as much as it is a cleanse to reduce inflammation and sensitivities to food groups, Bryson did witness some pretty drastic changes in just a short time. He said, "I lost 20 pounds in 1 month. All the inflammation has left my system and I'm a lot leaner now." 20 pounds in just 1 month is pretty impressive. But DeChambeau explained that he doesn't just look better, but he also feels better emotionally and mentally. In an interview in 2023, the golfer conceded that he may not hit the ball as hard or far as he once could, but that he feels much healthier now in his new, leaner physique. He says it's tough avoiding his favorite treat, brownies, but I guess he's glad he doesn't have to drink all those protein shakes anymore. So, there it is, folks. From his insane bulking diet that allowed him to pack on 40 pounds of muscle, to his shocking weight loss transformation in the space of just 1 short month, that was Bryson DeChambeau's brutal diet revealed.